What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to your AI Visionaries AI for Breakfast. Today, we got a special one. Today, we are officially launching the Builder Circle. Now, this isn't just another AI talk. This is the beginning of a powerful community for visionaries, coders, creatives, and entrepreneurs who are ready to build with real AI tools, launch businesses, solve problems with cutting edge technology. All right, so if you guys been looking for a space to learn like this, collaborate, and take action, you're in the right place. Without further ado, Champ Bobbitt, this is Steve Bayonne, AI for breakfast. Let's talk to him.
All right, guys. Let me just start with a PSA first, and then we'll get right into the main gist of it. We won't be long today. So, as I am utilizing AI agents and going deeper into um, my knowledge base in the space, uh, I'm starting to realize that there is immense opportunity, right? Because if you've heard me before, it's always been the coding part that and the technical part that's always disrupted a lot of things that I created in the past. So today, there's no barrier of entry when it comes down to it. If you can think it, if you can imagine it, you can build it. So you can understand for a guy like me how elated I am to have this technology around. But I'm gonna tell you the downside to it. One is just understanding that not everybody's gonna be able to utilize this technology the same way and get the same results. And that's just life anyway. So I'm accepting of that. Um, where I've been struggling lately is what am I going to put down to be able to bring all of things that I imagine to life? Because it does take time to deploy, especially for me. I'm on like 3 pages of product ideas right now. And I'm talking about front to back paper, 3 pages. So I have to then, in essence, make room and space to be able to create these and formally know, okay, what can go to market now? What can actually wait? What can I delegate to someone else? I can't hire an agent to hire an agent right now, right? Because the agents are still waiting for prompts. So what I did was we decided to create the AI Builder Circle, and this is where we're at today. You create this free platform to help people just kind of navigate the AI community, and it's just that it's just free, right? There's no value in it. For those of you who use it, you know what the value is, right? For most people, it's just kind of like, I just clicked, I'm in the group, cool. Group is growing. Now I'm listening to what everybody said. People are like, listen, we got to take this a little bit further, and start to separate, those who are just like kind of know a little bit about AI, those who are just users in AI right now, meaning we have literally fed this machine since the 50s to get to where we're at today, right? There is no AI without us being on phones, without us communicating on the internet, you name it. Every bit of our lives has been captured and stored, and now they're organizing it in ways that could never be done before because of the sheer amount of growth in the technological space. So I said, let's form an AI builder circle where we can have like-minded individuals and where we create a incubator in a sense. This is not new. This happens in tech. There's tech hubs, there's tech incubators. They tend to give people access to not only the technology but access to assistance in building their apps. And then they have access to VC money, right? Meaning if the app is good and you need funds to deploy, collectively for us as a group, we could come together and start to invest in those apps. And then we just need to figure out, okay, the deployment part is the second thing. We could all have the same app, but going to market is going to be the part where you have to, time and market helps. I'm not saying that AI can't assist in that stuff, but there's this false or misconception that someone could just generate things without knowing anything. And it's possible, right? Because, and I was just telling Champ earlier, the consumer is going to acquiesce to whatever it is. If we go to a nightclub right now together, we have to listen to the music that the DJ's playing. We don't, it's just, we fall in the line, right? We go to the grocery store, we fall in the line. Aisle one, two, three, four, everybody's just kind of moving the same way, right? Up escalator, down escalator. Life is built to give people construct and rules because if you kind of kept it open, it could kind of be a little bit chaotic. You understand? So the AI builder circle is probably for me, I think the most important aspect to Skyton Academy right now, outside of like mindset and just just your mental awareness is always going to be key, your health, right? But second to that is going to be this AI agent situation, okay? Um, and what we're doing is we're officially opening the enrollment today, right? The course is starting June 16th. This is going to be a 4 day course over the course of 4 weeks. All right. And then you're going to have work in between there. All right. So this just isn't another program. It's a movement that we're building. Okay. It's a launch pad. It's a support system for creators. Okay. Dreamers and doers to be able to build in the age of AI. I don't need any tire kickers in here. If you don't show up, you just don't show up because there's going to be a paywall. And anytime there's a paywall, everybody pays attention. Okay. Here's the thing I want to tell you guys. Next month, I'm headed out the country to start on this new venture I'm on. Okay. With that, I have to start to limit my interactions online, which I've already started. I started to limit my interactions with just people personally in my life right now. I started to say no for the first time to when people want to lean on me. And I have a problem doing that because I want to help everybody. I can no longer do it. So we have, we all have limited time in a sense. And I value everyone's time that shows up on every single call, whether it's paid or free. You know that we give it 110%. But now what I'm telling you is I'm going to start to synthesize things. I'm going to start to simplify things, and I'm going to start to become a little bit more unreachable to the free academy, right? And more so sticking into what makes the most sense now because every 7 months there's a major advancement in this technology that's starting to displace people. Okay. So for me, yeah, there's the caring part of it, but I'll be honest with you. I'm looking to just satiate some old shit. I'm coming back for revenge now. Things that were taken from me, ideas that I've seen like just executed well. And I didn't hate that part. I love the innovation. I don't care who does it, whether it be Jeff Bezos, whether it's eBay, PayPal Mafia. I'm just all for things that solve problems. Okay. What I don't like is I don't like us not being on the rewarding side of those things because I know that we innovate. We were the original innovators, right? So how did we lose that? Okay. I'm here to just put the pieces back together again. So I feel like collectively, individually, I could do this and just stay quiet, right? But collectively, we can go a lot further. So that's the whole part of democratizing education. Told Champ the other day, I said, information is worth zero now. It's everywhere. Education is really worth zero. You don't have to be in this group. You don't have to pay. The same information I have access to, you have access to. So in essence, I'm watching things that we thought were of value are no longer valuable because it's at your fingertip. Now, the person that can make sense of the information on the first wave of consultants is always going to make money training, right? Now you train up your staff. What do they need you for at this point now? Not much. And this is what's happening. We've trained ourselves to the point of no longer existing. So you work at that computer all day, you work in that factory, and they're watching your movements. They've been scanning them with AI, and now that's how the robots are going to be able to transcend to do those to deploy and do those jobs. All right. So we by the end of this particular course, you're going to know what AI agents are, um, how to use them and take advantage of them, and then how this group will help you go from like idea to execution in a matter of weeks. All right. And the only reason I'm spacing this out is because I don't want to do 4 days straight back to back. I want to be able to give you something. And then within that week, there's going to be homework. And if you do it, great. If you don't, then you just play catch up. And then once we get back, we're advancing. Like you're going to see how fast this thing advances. So if you have an imagination, this is for you. I don't care if you don't have an end product idea. And the thing that we have to stop doing is the scarcity mindset of, yeah, I kind of thought about that. And then we talk ourselves right out of it. But what do? You go right to the like minded individual that's next to you, right? Birds of a feather flock together. and they squash the idea, and you're like, yeah, you know what, what was I thinking about? So this is for that group that wants to, and I don't even call myself a leader in this situation, but I will sit at the head of the table on this one just for a little bit, and then you guys are off and running, because like I said, I have 3 pages of things, and then my kids also have. It's a thing here with this. All right. So the AI disruption is already here. All right. So AI isn't coming. It's here as we speak. All right. So over 40% of Fortune 500 companies are already using AI to cut labor costs. IBM just paused hiring for 77,800 jobs to work on AI to automate those jobs. So that means if they have a freeze on hiring, then it's eventually they're going to start to fire those 7,000 people on top of it. All right. Goldman Sachs says 300 million jobs could be affected by AI, and this is in a short couple years. Just fact. Okay. OpenAI is working with Stack Overflow to train agents on expert level code. Okay. So Google AI is reading mammograms with better accuracy than radiologists. So if we have any radiologists in here, you kind of know you're on borrowed time. Okay. Agents like GPT are running full business process on their own. And I'm looking at this stuff. So understand, I've been building systems for the last 3 decades. I'm looking at things out the box that just require voice prompts. And I'm like, oh shit, there's going to be a lot of blood in the water in America. Part of me taking this thing international and overseas is, just imagine if we're moving at the speed of light here and I'm skilled up and I go to an emerging market with the opportunities and the know-how and the technology to deploy applications in countries that are going from third to second to first world, what position I would be in those countries. That Colombia thing's not about like being on a resort and chilling. I ain't all the way there yet. But if I look at my last dance and my last run, I have the ability to create as much wealth as I need, not only for myself, but for my family, to make sure that my kids don't have to be put in turmoil in the United States if they decide to stay. They can move anywhere and do anything they want at full autonomy because of what I decided to do today, which was understand this emerging tech, not only understand it, but be able to deploy it. And on top of that, be able to teach as I'm doing all of this stuff. Where I find the time, I don't know. But I'm telling you that I'm on borrowed time, even from the teaching aspect of it. All right. So this ain't hype. This shit is happening. All right. So while it might sound overwhelming, here's the good news. All right. Because I understand. My wife would be like, yo, this guy doesn't feel much. I tend to steamroll people and be like, how do you, I'm doing better with it. But if you don't know how to use AI in your work or your business, you risk being left behind. All right. But if you do, the opportunities are limitless. So if you can deal with my ass pushing you for the next couple weeks, then jump on this ride with me. If you can't and you want to feel a certain way, watch what happens. And I could tell you that if you can't deal with me, you definitely won't have the mental fortitude to deal with the job cuts that are coming, and then to not know when the next meal is going to come, because I'm getting calls from my friends that are getting cut right now, and they are super valuable, or they were, right? Meaning 4-year degrees, and not only that, but like master degrees. It doesn't matter. It's coming for everybody. All right. So what are agents? And I'm not going to go too deep in this, but just walk with me. They're not just chatbots. They are autonomous digital workers, right? That take goals, make decisions, and complete multi-step tasks. All right. So I'll give you a quick little idea right now. My inbox for my email, and I've stopped emails for about a year now. Like, there's probably so much money sitting in my email right now. I just stopped being receptive, or just reactive to every time they send a prompt my way. So I don't check them. Now I have to be a little bit more mindful, because there are some things in there. So if I am looking for something business, I know somebody sending me something, I'm in there. But for the most part, it is disastrous. So I'm working on an AI agent that's just for me, that's going to clean up and synthesize my emails for me. So every time they come in, every day, I can know what's important. It could bring it at the top, and I can go directly to there and reply to the email if I need to. And then everything else, I could have the bot unsubscribe it for me. So these ideas aren't just about going to market and helping somebody else or the greater good of whatever. These ideas could start as something that you just need to help you around the house. And that's what I need in the office right now is I need somebody to make sense of that part for me. That's just one of the many pages of ideas that I have. So look at the problems that you have on a daily basis first. This is what we're going to do in the group. We're going to start to just, even from that point, we're going to conceptualize. So before you could have the baby, there's going to be some things that need to be done. So that's what we're going to do over the next 4 weeks. We're going to do some things together, right? And then we can start to birth the baby. Then you got to nurture the baby and you got to grow the baby, right? And then that baby has to then be set off. So think about it like that. All right. So they can write code, they can build apps, they can automate customer service, they can scrape data, they can analyze trends. Okay. And when you pair agents with platforms like ChatGPT and Replit, which is what I'm doing now, you can build full products with zero technical background. All right. So if you can describe it clearly, you can build it. You don't need code, and you all you really need to do is think. Now, this is the part, right? Because I'm private. I'm a product of private public school education. My kids are products of private school education. I can tell you that shit, both of them ain't really getting you ready for the future. Private school, college preparatory, yeah, whatever. But then college is not even preparing you for the future. So it's all dumb at the end of the day. I'm like, why are our kids in school right now? So from idea to product, all right? So how do you build something with AI? And here's the loop that we're going to teach, and you can write this down, all right? The first thing is imagine. All right. So what you want to do, what do you want to build? Number two is going to be break it down. Pages, features, actions. I'm just giving you an overview, but this is how we're going to analyze this stuff. You're going to you're going to be in my brain for 4 sessions. All right. Prompt the AI, right? Describe it and let it build. Okay. Number four is going to be iterate. So you're going to refine it until it works. This is the part that I think most people are going to struggle with. Not that you can't do it, just you're going to need some help. We all going to need help. This is why the group matters, right? We bounce things off each other. What Wayne may say can help somebody else, right? This is why it's better to go together than separate. So you don't need a development team. You don't need tech background. All you need is a clear idea and the willingness to learn how to use these tools. That's all I'm asking for. That's all it's asking for, even if you don't go on this ride with me. It's never been easier to go from concept to working app in hours, not months, not years, in hours. That's why my pages keep growing because I know that I could effectively do all of this. The mindset and the characteristics that you need, okay, to thrive in this space, you don't need to be a genius. Trust me on that. If you go back to my school transcripts, you'd be like, yo, this guy on paper is dumb. Right? On paper. That's the traditional sense of it. Don't put me in a circle. All right, he's misbehaving. You know what I'm saying? I circle, I draw outside the lines. I don't show work in math. I just see it. I was misunderstood. And better that they didn't classify me as genius because shit, I'd probably be working for the CIA right now. Um, so here's 5 things that you need and write these down. All right. Number one, and my wife is big on this, curiosity. All right. Try things, explore. 2, you need clarity. Know what you want to build. Okay. 3, you need prompt precision. Ask the right questions. 4, persistence. Keep improving your outputs. I don't stop till it stops. Number 5, execution. Don't just learn, launch. The greatest ideas have never come to life because of an individual's inability to just let it go. It's not an idea or an invention if people don't use it. So don't be dumb. Just let it go. AI will assist you, but it won't replace your imagination, your will to finish, or leadership, right? These are skills that aren't really like taught in school. Like these are things that you have to like gain through inspiration, gain through time and market. Some people are just kind of built in with it. Part of my genetical makeup is that I was wired like this. It's in my charts. You understand? So I'll give grace if it wasn't in your charts. That's fine. There's probably something else in your chart that could definitely. Um, we're all put here to do something great. Barring like a, and even if you did have a mental illness or some type of impairment, you're still put here to teach, right? Show people gratitude, all the things. So here's the truth that most people miss, right? The school system didn't teach us to think critically. All right. It trained us to follow rules. Most jobs don't require critical thinkers either. Okay. But in this era, critical thinkers is the ultimate edge that we have. So the best skill that you can develop right now isn't coding, it's thinking. So this is just 4 weeks of like, we're going to be thinking. We're going to put our thinking hats on. I'm working with my son right now. He's thinking. He's only 14, but he's like, poor guy, man. He has to deal with me on this app. He's like lost in the sauce sometimes, but I'm forcing him outside of his comfort zone. And the earlier I do this, starts to mature in life, I don't have to be there to regulate his temperature gauge. This is it. This is what I'm getting out of this right now. So even if we don't make a dollar on this, just the fact that I'm able to create with my children and my family is enough to know that at whatever point I'm not going to be in this physical form for them, I've filled up enough of their tool bags for them. All right. So introducing the AI Builder Circle. Right. This is there's two functionalities that we have. We have a learn track, which is the first, and then we have a second part. Only after you finish the learn track that you can get into the second part. And I'll get into that after. All right. So it's not just learning, it's a hub of creative minds who want to take action. That's the most important thing. In the learn track, you'll do what? You'll join weekly coaching calls with myself and Champ. You'll train on AI tools, prompt building, and app creation. You're going to collaborate on real projects. You understand? We're gonna focus on your own project, but I'm going to show you some things that I'm doing to kind of bring some stuff into context. Okay, so you'll get to see it through that way. I'm not training you on Replit. I'm not training you per se on GPT. I am laying down the framework so you can have your plan, and we're going to go through the execution plan for your project. There's some bases that work. All right, so I'm getting you to that point of getting ready for deployment. All right, not in there to show you what prompts. No, this is the framework that we're building out first. All right. So we'll even offer investment opportunities for members who have like standout applications. Okay. The group is like a launch pad plus a mini VC, venture capitalist group of money that could be pooled together to then effectively put behind a tech product. And then putting money behind a product is one thing, putting the people behind it to process and deploy that product is a whole nother thing. All right. This will be in phase two. And then over the course of the 4 weeks, we're going to help you spark your idea, build with confidence, and then gain momentum. That's the momentum that's going to take you into you even just going after that on your own. Okay. So you're not alone. You've got a circle behind you, right? And if you just look at the shape of a circle, it never leaves anybody behind. It's always interconnected. All right. So there's a synergy that we're forming. So this is not just another course, guys. It's a bridge from confusion to clarity and then from idea to execution. All right. So you don't need to be technical. You just need to be committed. Again, the circle learn track opens now. Right. Champ, you can drop the link in there. It the spots are limited, guys. All right. So I'm not looking to, and I can't support everybody. So once I see the number at a particular number, I'm just clipping it. The site won't even work anymore. The information will be up there, and then I'll turn it to a wait list to then figure out if I'm gonna just like leave it as a learn on your own or come back again. I probably won't come back again, but it'll probably be a learn on your own situation. All right. take advantage of having a real me, because you're going to start to see an automated me in a minute. Like, I am working on cloning myself in certain roles. I told Champ this morning, I'm like, listen, there's certain aspects that we just need to create AI bots, because why would we go hire somebody if it's the same thing every day? So effectively, we're just gonna, and I said it's the first time that I can recreate myself. So imagine Steve being customer service. Imagine Steve, marketing. Imagine Steve owner. I could wear every single hat, and my bot will see it the way I see it. And no matter if it's a remedial task for $5 an hour or something for 5,000 an hour, it's gonna be able to assist me in this process. So guess what Steve could do with his time now? Effectively move on, touch people, be in another country, emerging tech, solving problems, utilizing tech to help emerging countries because they're behind. As America has blood in the water, you're going to be dealing with a lot of competition too, guys. I'm going to tell you this now. We're not the only group or people doing this right now with AI. People are getting skilled up in this country. Okay. Take your talents elsewhere. Sometimes you just gotta, you don't wait to get traded. Like, just say, I don't want to play anymore, or I know my value. I want to go here. All right. So Champ would drop the link inside of the he'll drop the link in the chat, and then I just want to go over um kind of the phases of this situation. All right. Listen, give me a thumbs up or a fire emoji if anything is resonating with y'all. I can't feel the energy in the room, and we're on mute. All right. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the description below, everything would be there. The link would be there. The information to kind of what we spoke about, all the pertinent information would be in the description in the YouTube video. Okay. So you guys will have access to it. So, okay. So track 1 of the AI Builder Circle is the learning track. All right. That's the one where we identify profitable or time-saving AI opportunities as a group, how to break down your idea in a usable workflow. And understand, some people, you might hold an idea near and close to your heart. I'm not going to force anybody to give their idea out loud if they don't want to. All right. How to map your app visually and organize it for development. This is an important key piece. Don't just start talking, like, organize. Okay. How to think like a creator using the imagination loop. So I created this thing called an imagination loop. All right. I am looking to make you guys architects, not just users. Okay. How to start building and when the time is right. All right. Because it's all timing too. Okay. So that's the track 1. The second track on the website, you can join a wait list right now. All right. The second track is only open to people that did the first track, because I don't want to work with somebody that doesn't have the baselines. Okay. The second track is we're going to build a AI app in just 3 weeks. It's called the Launch Sprint. So you'll have 2 private sessions, one-on-one with myself, private. Now, when camera's off, how things could be talked, and ideas can be expanded. So you have 2 calls with me. A focused 3-week sprint roadmap we'll have. You'll also have ChatGPT prompt templates, AI agent scaffolds. So I'm building this whole thing out for you guys. It's going to be a plug and play. It doesn't matter what the product is. Trust me, I market better for products outside of what I do, because I can put a clear eye on it and not be tied to it. All right. Peer-to-peer support group. So live checkpoints throughout the 3 weeks, and then direct guidance again from myself, which is a rare opportunity, guys. I've never opened myself up to this outside of, like, maybe some portfolio management stuff, but Champ kind of picked it up. But when it came down to, like, business, I have yet to open myself up to this part right here. I've done marketing for people before, but when it comes down to working with a group of potential entrepreneurs, or just somebody that just wants to solve a problem around the house, this is the first of its kind. So you're learning strategies from someone who has been building things for the last, I've probably been building my whole life, to be honest with you. So I'm not even gonna say 30 years. I'd be doing myself a disservice. Probably since the time I got out into this world, I was figuring shit out um, through the guise of another way. So on the website, you can just join the wait list. If you join the group, you could then join the wait list. All right. Because that's the first wave of people I'm taking. Now, in that group, I'm going to be super selective. I need to know what the product is. There's some products I'm just not even going to deal with. And that's just because I can do that. If I'm working on my time and I see a product that can be kind of weird and not really add to society and maybe deplete it just from mine. It's my prerogative to just decide to say, you know what, I'm not interested in that. There was an idea that was brought to me by a student of someone else who may be in the academy, not to take nothing away from the idea, but it was more like a companion robot. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not adding to nothing that has to do with that. I know the power of human touch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying a companion robot is not a thing and it won't work for certain people, but I'm I'm not going there. I'm not entertaining that. So, you know, um, I'm gonna vet who I work with uh, on the launch sprint. Okay. So in essence, guys, 3 weeks. Trust me when I tell you that. And you don't even need that. Once you have the right structure, you can get these things done in a day easily, but you just need the structure. So what I'm giving you guys initially is the blueprint to create the structure. Once you have that and you start to build the confidence, you can take that same blueprint and you can start to show others, whether you monetize it. And I'm telling you, this is the age of consulting right now. So everything you learn, you can formally teach it once you become an expert at it. Or, that's relative. I don't have the most time in market in real estate, but what I do have is a way of thinking and seeing things. So I can run circles around guys who's been in the business 20 years past me because I formulate things to solve problems. I don't jump on the same hamster wheel every day and it doesn't work for my mind. So again, we've just opened up track 1 and I seen the orders coming in too. So guys, thank you and congratulations. And listen, track 1 is really worth more than what we charge. So the initial promotional price is $297. If it opens again, it's going to be no minimum of like $497, like minimum. And that'd be at your own pace at that point now. So the first wave of class has access to me in ways that won't really be duplicated again when you're watching a replay. So you can ask your questions and things like that. So that's the draw to getting in now. Then on top of it, once July comes and my focus shifts out the country, then I don't know where that can take me. You understand? So if I'm telling you guys that you can be the architect of your own system and don't wait to be fired or displaced, create. Same thing for me in the academy. Every single one of my prior companies has let me go because of technology, and I ran the company. So let that sink in. So I'm not staying on the ship for too much longer when I know what the future holds. You understand? We can easily make a decision to say, you know what? As of August 1st, the academy is no longer operational. And that's it. All right. So welcome to this installment of AI for Breakfast. Champ, just take us out. We can stay on and clip the back end. Do not go left field. If you have a question pertaining to track 1, and the reason I'm doing this is it can help somebody in YouTube land. There may be a question or something that I didn't really clarify, but please make it based on what we just talked about.
Let's see. Treve, I'm gonna take your question first. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Grateful Rising, can I be heard?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love y'all. Thank you so much for this information. Y'all's leadership continues to compound. And Steve, this is on video. They just have to know if they just don't know. This is the real deal right here. So I've been waiting for this class for so long, or this talk. So my question is, and I just want to get clarity. I posted it in the chat and I had some great people respond, but I would love to hear it from you, just in case anyone out in YouTube land hears it and also needs clarity. You made a statement earlier where you said You don't want to work with someone that does not have the baselines. I wasn't clear on what you meant when you said baseline. So if you could clear that up for us, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Great question. So that was more so for track 2. If you know, like anything, if I'm going to go into business with somebody, because I'm treating it as if I'm going into business with you guys in track 2, right? If you don't have some formal background, then it forces me to like teach you 101, and then we can't deploy in 3 weeks. So the formal baseline would be track 1. That's the learn track, right? That's the one that I know that you've been through track 1, and you effectively should have your plan on paper. So by the time you come to me in track 2, I need to see that it was done. And those are the people I'm going to work with. Aside from like just handpicking products that that I'm just excited about, right? Because if I'm not excited about something and it doesn't line up with who I am, then I don't want the money. I don't want the money. You understand? So for clarity, track 1 will give you access to track 2, and that's the baseline that you need. Now, I'm not saying that somebody can't come from the outside and have a great product and have everything together. I'm not saying that, but I'm just telling you that if a lot of these tools are new, this is a prerequisite. Just like any other school, you can't do this without taking that. And I want to know that people are invested properly.
Great question.
So we have
Great.
Tensi.
Yep, Tensi is next. Tensi, I see your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good day. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
My question, I'm driving right now, hands free. But my question was pertaining to the learner track for people that are already paid members in Skype Academy. Is there a discount for the thing, or is this kind of like a separate standalone offering outside of the regular Skype Academy offering?
Yeah, this is a good question. This is a standalone outside of the offering.
Okay.
What you guys do have is you have it coming to you first, right? And again, I'm limited in bandwidth, so if you have the ability to get in now before it gets to YouTube, then I can tell you that we're picking up a lot of steam on YouTube. But it's still Academy students that tend to be the first in any group and anything that we offer, especially at this pricing of $297. So the initial discount was discounted from $497. I did value this to be more, but I said, you know what? Let's make the barrier of entry a little bit lower. Guys, you're buying a framework. I just want you to understand that, right? You're buying a framework that's going to help you organize thoughts, right? Because this is part 1. I'm selling like critical thinking, right? How we could all talk to chat and all have different results from chat because we're all different individuals. We could be trying to solve the same problem. So now I'm just bringing something to the forefront. Champ and I go through this all the time where we both create inside a chat. And if I have a bigger scope on where I need to go with it, then my first initial might be similar to his, but then my second and third, you can start to see a little bit of separation because I'm going a little bit deeper. And it really just is on the data points that you have in your particular company or whatever industry you're in. Right? That's going to be important in the first track that we do. But great question, Tensi.
Got you. Thank you so much.
Man.
We got
On the call.
we got next up, we got Mira Bayonne. Mira, go ahead and unmute yourself. Grand Rising.
And guys, just a backstory. Mira's my wife, and she's a great supporter in all things. But the brightest mind I know. The brightest mind. Like she gets on chat, I'm like, it's over. But she's still a paper pen person and like, whatever. So genius right here. What you got?
Well, thank you.
You welcome.
Grand Rising, everyone. Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hey.
I just had to get on because I need y'all to know how big of an opportunity this is. I've been watching since we got on this morning, and I'm hyped. And I'm even more hyped after seeing Wayne get hyped, in in the chat and everything. But the baseline of all of this, of what you'd really be getting, which is invaluable, is the speed at which Steve's brain works, which I see every day, and I'm for the past 25 years, and I'm still like, it never ceases to amaze me how fast he can go. And what I've learned in these past years and watching him navigate business and entrepreneurship is that it's not really who's first to market, it's not who's the smartest, who's got the greatest idea. In business, it really is who can get there the fastest. And there is nobody's train that I would rather be on in terms of speed than Steve's. Even, I mean, it makes you uncomfortable at a certain point because listen, I don't move at that speed. I'm still, like he said, paper and pencil. Kind of like I'm a Taurus, right? So it's like, slow and steady is my race, right? And it works well being paired with Steve, who's like out of this world already, right? I can ground him back down when necessary, and he's like taking me to heights that I've never seen when necessary, right? So this is really what he's offering with this AI course. It is to move you past your own processing speed. And for any of our members who have worked with Nas, our brain trainer, you know what I mean in terms of that processing speed and how it could be challenging to move you past the speed at which you're comfortable working. But there is no greater tool, especially in this day and age that we're stepping into right now, where everything is moving so fast, where I feel overwhelmed. Like it's moving too fast. We have to adapt to move faster with it, to get our brains to move faster, to get our ideas out faster, to communicate faster with more precision. This is really an exercise in that. And if you can get that now, you're going to be fine with how this train is moving. But we must adapt. Another one of Steve's businesses that's just up on the shelf is literally called Adaptable. This is from 15 years ago. 15 years ago, he was already seeing it like, no, we got to be adaptable. So in business, adaptability and speed is paramount. And then, clarification, being able to communicate at that speed is critical as well. So these tools are invaluable. You want to be a part of this cohort because you're going to see it live in action in real time and really be able to grasp it before he's on to something else. This is what I'm saying. He's moving fast. So if you have an opportunity to grab on now and learn what you can from him, take it. I take it for granted sometimes, and I live with him. We've been together longer than we have not in life at this point, and I'm still like blown away almost every day. Listen, I rolled over and logged onto this call from just being in bed after he's been up for maybe 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? This man doesn't stop. And if you want some of that to lead you into this wild west of AI, ain't nobody better. I want to be a part of the cohort. And I have it at my disposal, right here every single day. But listening to this call, I'm just like, wow, what do I have? What ideas do I have to mine so that I can be, so that I can launch in 3 weeks? Steve, don't hold me to it. How I'm feeling right now because I'm hyped. But yeah, I just had to get on and say that Speed is what you're going to get from this. And right now was the time, as the world, I know everyone's feeling it, the world is just moving at such a wild pace. So let's ramp up and let's get ready. And it's great to be able to do it together so that you don't have to feel so alone in this. Nobody's better at the lead taking this realm than Steve. So yeah, take what you want from that, but good luck, and I'll see you in the cohort.
Wow. Wow. That wasn't even scripted. I didn't know she was gonna be on because weekend she'll get that rest. Appreciate you on that one. Wow. Um, I mean, I don't even know what to say after that. But I do know what I want to show you guys though. She's the best. She really is. Let me get shared on, champ.
It's on.
So what I'm going to share with you guys is the app that my son is working on. Kind of excited about this one. So this is solving a problem that we have in our household, right? Being able to keep a young boy active and accountable, for his own growth and development, right? It doesn't matter how many times I say it, 100 push-ups, 200, like it just becomes a repetitive thing, and I'm over it, right? And he's probably over it too. So I was like, you know what? Let's just solve the problem. Let's create an app for kids who are, between the ages of 6 and 14, 15, right? To track their basketball journey. And this could be all sports journeys. All right. So basically, he's creating this app that's going to help him in for his training. So we're doing this just for us, right? We have this thing that's going to be on his phone, on my phone. He can schedule his weeks out. Whatever game days he has, he can block out whatever rest days he has. Now he is building custom workout routines that he can do on his own. That doesn't require a trainer having to drive him somewhere. It doesn't require weights or anything, right? So he's able to do his 100 push-ups, his 50 body squats, like all of that, and it's in the app. And then once you finish, the app marks completed, and it's a goal generating app. He's also able to track his weight through a scale that we have that has an API, and we can bring it inside the app. He can track his height. So of course for basketball, it's always, and he has this thing in his room, and it's like he keeps growing past the line, and I mean literally in a month. So now all of this stuff could be tracked. And then there's a reward incentive to say, well, if you make the goal of, I don't know, whatever challenge that is put into the app, 600 push-ups in a day, and you're accountable, and mind you, you can take video of the push-ups too to kind of show the proof if you want to. It'll have photos of your body, front, back, side, you name it, so he can see his growth over time, because you can't really tell if things are working, right? We can't see it on us. But somebody come to me like, oh, damn, Steve, you putting on weight. Yeah, I'm strength training now. I'm back in the gym. I can't really I can see it now a little bit, but sometimes it's hard to see it when you're growing to that point. So this is what he's doing here: strength and conditioning, basketball training, goal setting, progress tracking, coach and parent connect, and achievement system. Then we could also add a social media component to it, where him and his friends are both are connected to it, and then they're motivating each other. There could be an internal game that's played. Oh, I ran a mile today. Did you run your mile yet? Things like that. And then you get to track the entire progress. The best thing for me is how he could look back on the journey and say, damn, you remember that summer of freshman year going to sophomore year, you were 100 and something pounds. Now look now, right? Look at your body now. So now you can even have a recap that can kind of synthesize the information for you. So now when you get into the start training part, here we go. He's only touched this twice for less than 30 minutes right now. And I'm pushing him to getting in here. And he's like, like, it forces him outside his comfort zone right now. So he has shooting skills, he has strength and conditioning, he has his schedule, recent workouts, you name it, everything is on here. He's being guided, right? If left by himself, I'm not saying that he wouldn't be able to do it, but definitely not where this is at right now, right? So this is where he can pick a particular drill, 3-point shooting. We're going to build out custom stuff to say 5 spots here, 5 spots here, 5 spots there, 5 spots there. And then he could put the minutes, the durations, the attempts. Now we can even get it to a point where the camera could be on a stand and it can show his makes if we wanted to add artificial intelligence to it. See where we can go. We can sell this to not only students, we can sell it to coaches, we can sell it to trainers, you name it. There's a multitude of things that we can do here. We can get Nike, we can get Under Armour, we can get somebody big to sponsor this particular situation. he's formerly the first member of the Builder Circle. Actually, he's on track 2. He skipped 1, but he's in-house, so that's home team. No one else could do that but him. But he is going to be held accountable for coming in, and he's going to take track 1 with whoever signs up too. Good idea. Drop a fire emoji in the chat so I can know. And again, even if it's not a good idea for market, it's something that solves a problem that him and I have. And then it strengthens our bonds in different ways now. Now we're not just like battling on the court, you know, training. We're actually using our minds. So, you know, if basketball stops, maybe after high school, maybe college, I don't know how far he could take this situation. But even if he didn't go, just imagine what he can create in a space that he's in at this moment. In every space and every point in time, he has the ability to just create when he's pit against something else in life, with or without me. That's the value in that. I'm loving this app though. I'm actually gonna partner with him on this one. And there's things out here on the market like that, but it's not until like I'm like dad coach, like I'm in with him on this. But I'm also not looking at basketball from a make or miss it's more of a training him in life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm seeing the game. I'm seeing the business they wrap around AAU and everything, and I'm like, this is horrible, right? Because I'm analyzing what where we're in, and I have to navigate him through this space, right? So I'm a psychologist. I'm I'm his physical therapist. I mean, you name it. So all of this helps me put something inside of that app, right? Kids get injured. How do you recover from injury? You know, information is powerful. So we're really looking to just give young minds powerful information that is conducive to the environment they're in. And then now, guess what? Every minute he spends on the app is every less minute he spends on somebody else's situation. He doesn't need the Instagram. You know, he doesn't need the YouTube shorts. He can, in essence, build his own stuff and then have an audience, lining up with him. Ash, what you got?
Okay, yeah. So if we decide to participate in your AI Builder Circle, so we won't have to worry about. I know you had showed how much, because I know a lot of people are not familiar with API calls and stuff. So we won't have to worry about allocating any of our only personal funds to the testing of the API calls and all that stuff, right?
No. Listen, depending on what she means by that, these are plugins because you need information, you need data. So when you're connecting to other companies' APIs, they're not always free. This is how companies make money. So you got to think, if I'm going to pay $900 a month for a crypto API, I better be bringing in some money for that. You understand? So that's where I'm going to help you guys create paywalls and verticals. You know, even with the crypto app that I'm creating now, you know, I ran across a problem. If we can mute everybody, I ran across an issue where the APIs and the news was costing me a lot of money. So what I did was I pivoted. I went to RSS feeds, right? That's giving you the same news. It's an aggregator. The APIs are pulling data from somewhere too, right? No one's really the originator of data like that. So I went RSS feeds. It worked fine, but then I was pulling from too much feeds and it was slowing down my functionality. So when I came across a problem, I was able to solve the problem immediately through a talk prompt. Like, yo, listen, this thing is moving slow. What's the problem? My coder tells me in real time, which normally my coder would be in Ukraine, in another country, in a different time zone. So by the time I type out the message and he gets it, we're dealing in 24 hours and he's not receptive, at my beck and call every second. But this guy is, or this woman is, whoever this thing is. And I make the adjustment on RSS feed. It tells me, hey, you have 15,000 places it's trying to generate from. So I'm like, no, slow it up. Give me the top 40. And would that affect the functionality and the speed? Great. Yeah, I mean, like this thing's talking back to me like, man, you're smart. That's a great idea. That's all it says all day to me. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. And I'm sitting here, I'm feeding this machine that I know is going to be beneficial to the world because I be thinking the shit. And my wife will tell you, when I get on with customer service, they like, I've never come across, that's never. And I'm like, come on, man. Am I the only person thinking right now? Like no one's called about this problem before. And it could be, maybe I am just a little bit out there in the way I solve problems or in the way I see things. I'm going through the same thing in Colombia now. It's like I'm learning that um America, we are at the forefront of stuff. I can tell you that now. I can tell you, I'm not taking nothing away from any other country, but in the sense of like, if you want to learn things and you want to move at the speed of light, like I don't know if there's another country that can offer that sort of opportunity and flexibility for you to be able to do so. Some countries can't even get on the internet. You know, China doesn't have ChatGPT and things like that. So just know that we do have the advantage in the world, on the world stage. And then as I start to see certain things with my attorney, with my architect, with my this, and I'm like, oh, I'm coming out here to teach. You know, I'm coming out here to change the way that things are done. You know, but nah, good question, Ash. No, there's no allocation of money right now. This is really setting up the framework for you to be able to critically think first before moving. Donnie, what you got?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, Grand Rising, everybody, man. Just for some context, man, I've certainly, I mean, I've known Steve for probably more than half my life right now. So just kind of want to set the stage there. And certainly it's been a pleasure to get to know Champ over the years too here. But what I wanted to chime in to say, you know, myself, I'm 20 plus year veteran on Wall Street. And this AI movement is taking everybody by storm, which I don't even think the guys on Wall Street are really understanding the true power in it and how it's going to change the world, literally. Um, Me myself, you know, just kind of keeping this, you know, a buck transparent. I wasn't a believer in crypto. I wasn't a believer in AI, and Steve's always been on my ass. Excuse my language. Don't get comfortable with that Wall Street shit. Them checks are good until they not. Fast forward, you know, through two displacements, one here just recently, losing my job, is keeping it, you know, open with the community.
And how
Uh,
and when did you just call me about your job loss?
Yesterday,
And when did it
yesterday,
happen?
yesterday morning, on my way into the office. So it lets you know they playing different ball out here, right? And what I said is to say more so make the investment in yourself, right? You know, 297, 497. You can't put a price tag on information and knowing something, and at the same time it's bettering you to prepare yourself for what is going to be reality sooner than I think some of us actually truly believe. Whether you get this information from, you know, Skype and Steve or whomever, I will tell you, start investing in yourself and figure out a way to create sustainability for you and your family, because they playing a different ball game out here, folks. Not that I'm, you know, some conspiracy type, you know, whatever, but it's real, man. And a lot of people are gonna, you know, get caught off guard, and it's gonna be very disruptive to your everyday in your life if you've not at least educating yourself to understand what it is actually what's really going on out here. That's all I wanted to say. But Steve, no, I love you, brother, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
I appreciate you. Listen, I'm glad he came on to say that because I've been itching to tell that story. You know, not to use his name and his likeness, but he's transparent about it. Um, Donnie is my guy. Donnie is as institutionalized as you can get, right? So when I talked earlier about like master's degree and all that other stuff and investing to make yourself more valuable in the workforce, he's the epitome of that. Like he's done everything the way that it's supposed to be done, right? And it's not personal. It's just profitable. I heard that before. It's not personal. It's just profitable. Like, why wouldn't I cut staff? Why I have a trim. We have a skeleton crew. It's just Champ and I and our copywriter. And shit, he's not even with us anymore to that capacity like that. So now it's like we're building this new staff, and we're gonna build it with AI agents to be able to then effectively help us run this business a lot more efficiently. To then have more time to give you guys more attention in other realms. So, yeah, nah, Donnie, I appreciate you for even coming on and disclosing, you know, what you're going through right now. But he's gonna be good for sure. Like anybody that's around me gonna be good. And I've been telling him this for decades. Like, yo, man, come on with this. You know, we were partners before, and you know, we had a venture in New York together. He took a stab at, and he's that guy, man. This guy has a wealth of information and knowledge. But again, when you get into those worlds, and it's like a trap, you know. You get these bonuses, these hefty salaries. And it's kind of hard to let go and bet on yourself at that point now. But we're getting to that point where everybody has to bet on themselves. Everybody.
Let's be real, guys. AI isn't a future thing, it's a right now thing. And this builder circle is where vision meets action. So if you got curiosity, we got the clarity. If you bring precision, we'll bring the execution. And if you got that fire from this call to build, launch, and lead, we've got the builder circle that's going to push you, challenge you, and elevate you. So this definitely is not for spectators. This is for the doers, the disruptors, and the digital architects of tomorrow. So if you guys are ready to stop sitting on your potential and start building that legacy, you know what to do. All you have to do is click that link that's down below in the description. The builder circle is open. Let's build something that the world can't ignore. All right, we'll see you guys on the inside. This is AI for breakfast.